Hi everyone, my name is Kay, Shri in a Circle, welcoming you again to a video with me. In this session, I want to address something pretty personal, and that's going into weight, diet, food, physical body, and the whole concept around beauty. Okay, so it's all very free flow. I will just feel very guided into speaking my truth and sharing this publicly with all of you out there. So this year actually has been quite transformative, I would say, in terms of the fact that I made some realizations. Whereas in the past years, I was working a lot on that more spiritual level, inner healing. So working a lot on the emotional body and the spiritual body. I felt that I was neglecting my physical body, right? How to say this, in terms of the chakra system, how I feel is that I was working a lot on my upper chakras, especially my heart chakra, my throat chakra, and my crown chakra. Like I was receiving a lot of divine assistance and love from the gods, and especially with the help of Shiva, who's coming into my dreams, Lord Ganesha. I have a lot of divine connection, and I have to discuss about spirituality and divine assistance in another video. But what I realized through a dream is I have been pretty much neglecting my physical body. And that's where I also see that my root chakra, which is like my base chakra, sacral chakra, has also been pretty much blocked, or at least not as developed. Yeah, so it is all linked. The chakra systems are all linked in a way that your spiritual body, emotional body, your consciousness, inner consciousness is very much tied to your physical body. That is your vessel in which you're carrying your life, in which you're leading your life, and you're manifesting your physical creations through your body. So when I had this dream earlier this year in January that I was stepping into a grocery store and all I saw was dead meat. So what I felt was like dead animals, because they were not carved out. They still had hoofs and paws, and I could see parts of the animal that normally in a grocery store it would all be very sliced and diced, and all you see is the meat. But here you had pieces of fur and hoofs, and so it felt like literally a carcass of a dead animal. And I also saw next to it like pools of blood and a dead baby animal. As what I saw was a can't remember now, but it looked like a dead duck or gosling or geese and a fox. Yeah. So I immediately felt very sad for these poor animals, baby animals. Maybe their mother was being butchered and they were just left to die in their pool of blood. And so I woke up from that dream and decided to just take that instinctive urge to stop eating meat. So I have reduced a lot my intake of meat, but I still eat fish, so I'm considered more like pescatarian. And for the past 4 or 5 months this year, I've been really staying away from meat, and I see there is a big difference in terms of my spiritual awareness, and my healing journey has been a lot more effortless, also because the intake of meat was greatly reduced. And I also see that my body is not suffering as much in terms of like iron deficiency or like protein deficiency, because I was eating a lot of lentils, a lot of tofu, a lot of vegetables, and a lot of juices, teas, and the body was not complaining. Do I look malnourished to you? No. So, but I do now, and I'm not in a way compelling and saying that, you know, everybody has to go meatless. No, it's not that at all, because each person feels a calling at a certain point in time when you just have to listen to your body. It's more a reverse, right? Before I was very much led by my thoughts, but now it's more like I'm listening to the divine message from my body and I'm honoring her. So yeah, so I felt I've really cleansed a lot of my energy, and staying away from meat also helps me to feel more balanced in a way. But yeah, as I say, you know, if I'm in a family setting and there's only meat and I don't want to cause inconvenience to the host, like I'll eat a bit of meat, like that's okay. Like I'm not gonna be difficult about it. Like but yeah, I feel like one thing, you know, we're really truly what we eat. And just because I'm reducing a lot my meat consumption, I just see how the ordinary day-to-day, you know, how we eat, we tend to eat a lot of meat in all our meals, and they tend to be preserved with a lot of salt, right? So a lot of curated meats and stuff, sausages, dried meats, etc. So there's a lot of salt content, and it's all it's not necessary for our body. So going back to the health and wellness part of it is that I'm now in my 40s, and I really do see that if I don't take care of my body now, and I'm very grateful that my body's actually talking to me to take care of her, then very quickly I'm going to develop diseases in my 50s and 60s because I have neglected my body. So to neglect your body is literally to say I neglect my spiritual and my emotional bodies as well, and my mental faculties. Because without the body to carry, you cannot live your life. That you could have all the riches in the world, but you're suffering because the body carries a lot of suffering as well. So yeah, caring for the body is truly very important for your spiritual journey. And back to the root chakra as well, I see that, you know, the whole confidence and the sense of like standing my ground and going beyond my comfort zone, like driving a car, for example, it calls for a lot of confidence and to feel assured. So it's a sacral chakra, but it's also the base chakra of feeling that sense of security, sense of worthiness. That's also the sacral, the solar plexus chakra, sorry. And the sacral chakra, which is all about feeling that sense of, it's not about sexuality, but I would say your sensuality and feeling at home in your gender, right? If, you know, the feminine and masculine energies are being balanced. So that all plays out in the body as well. And I'm also noticing, like, you know, the way, you know, I carry myself, I'm less aggressive as I was before, and I don't have to have like the final word, you know, I don't have to like push my opinion across. That's all very masculine energy of I want to win and I want to get ahead. But I'm also realized that there is a lot of power in the feminine energy of nurturing, of openness, of keeping a sacred space and allowing the other party to come forward rather than me bulldozing my way forward, or for me chasing my dreams and, you know, telling people exactly what to do and how to do it and why to do it. I'll let them come to me. I'll let them find their way. So the feminine energy of the sacral chakra flows a lot like water. In a way that water, you know, there might be obstacles in the path, but water always finds its way to go around the obstacle or under the obstacle or over the obstacle, but it will still find its way to the river and the sea and the ocean, right? No matter what life puts in terms of boundaries, water always finds a way to flow in the most easiest path, the path of least resistance. And that's what the sacral chakra holds a lot for me as well, is that by developing the sacral chakra is to not be having a very pushy agenda, a very insecure trauma. It's very much trauma based because it's like, I want to get my way. You know, it's like a child that was never heard and so therefore needs to speak even louder in order to be heard by the rest of the family. Or you need to be harsh so that you can get your point across because girls are not taken seriously, right? So a lot of that trauma of, you know, might not even be from your childhood, but also be from your lineage of women who are not being heard throughout the generations and who are not being respected for the gifts that they have. And so feeling misunderstood or feeling cast aside or feeling, you know, that their arts and their gift and their beauty is not being appreciated, denigrated, looked down upon. And so we develop this defense mechanism of being even more masculine to compensate for all the feminine wounds that has happened in the past. So coming back to the sacral chakra, and the importance is to have this level of ease in life and to say that I welcome change, and I welcome unforeseen circumstances that I may not have necessarily controlled, right? But I welcome that, and I'm able to navigate my way across, and I'm able to find a path of least resistance. And so when you're in a conversation and in a dialogue with the other person, instead of now carrying forward your energy of being dominant and wanting to push your agenda because you're insecure, you're able to hold a leadership stance of holding your fort and holding a sacred space for the other person. You know, and you're able to hold space for the other person. That's basically what the whole, for me, what the sacral chakra is about. It's to be able to hold space for yourself and to know that being soft is not a sign of weakness. Is that you already have arrived, girl. Okay, you have made it. You have a strength. You have talent. You have a gift. And I'm ready. And I'm arrived. And I'm there. And I'm enough. I'm complete. And there's no more need to prove yourself anymore. There's no need to fight and claw your way up the ladder, this imaginary ladder, because you're already there. And it's just to own it and share it with the other person. So it's a different level of energy where you're not imposing on the others, but rather you're able to sit back and let the other party come to you because you're holding your ground. You're confident in your stance. And of course, you can be using play. You can tap into your childlike nature of inquisitiveness, of curiosity, of being a child, of being playful. That playful childlike energy, very sensual energy of, you know, just freedom and movement and openness, because you're in tune to your body and you're able to be soft and gentle because you have the inner strength. You don't have to prove to the outside that you're really muscular. You don't have to build walls. You can let it all fall. You can be authentic, right? And you're not afraid to be yourself. And yeah, you can let your guard down. It's all about opening up the sacral chakra, is that you're able to let your guard down. You don't have to pretend to be a guy. You don't have to pretend to be the more stronger gender or sex, because you're already strong. And so you can be soft. You can be gentle. You can be feminine. You can be creative. You can be poetic. You can take your time. And you can draw and paint and laugh. And you can be yourself. You can let your guard down. And so this is all the lower chakras for me, the root chakra of establishing a strong sense of home, home base within your body, feeling good within your body, feeling safe and secure within your body. Your sacral chakra, which is about opening up to your femininity, your sensual energies, playful energy, creative spirit, childlike essence, because of that inner realization that I am already enough. I'm ready. I have what it takes. I don't have to prove myself. And you're now able to give to others the space so that they can be themselves by first you letting your guard down and being able to bare your heart and be authentic and genuine and loving. Solar plexus, which is your inner fire, your inner confidence, right? Being able to speak your truth. So your throat chakra, heart chakra, your solar plexus, they're all firing up. Yeah, so I think definitely your heart chakra has to open up, because that is really the ability to love yourself. So loving your body, by taking care of her needs. When your body is tired, just sleep, and honoring what she needs. It's not to go through the whole day not drinking a glass of water. That's not loving your body. It's to be able to listen to your body's needs. When she's tired, is that, just respect it. Your body's not a machine and a robot. You might want to sleep for several days, but instead of feeling guilty and shamed that you're not productive, it's to say that, well, to honor your body and say that my body is going through an upgrade right now. That in order to upgrade the machine, it has to restart and rewire, right? So it's the same with your body. And to eat nutritious foods. There might be a calling for a certain color of foods that you need, and your body knows that. So we're working through your bodies and establishing a healthy routine of dietary practice, but also healthy, like motion, exercise, whether it's brisk walking. Then you're taking care of your lower chakras. And also by taking care of your lower chakras, you're able to fire up your higher chakras, because then the insight and intuition and clairvoyance and divine messaging from the higher chakras is able to flow down to the rest of your body. And then your manifestations are going to be able to work, because now flowing from divine all the way down to your physical and anchoring it into your physical existence. And what I also do realize now is that the importance and the need to fast from time to time. And because we tend to eat a lot, we tend to eat way too much of the good stuff. And nonstop eating, like we're eating because it's like a clockwork routine. It's breakfast, it's time to eat. Lunch, it's time to eat. But are we really hungry? So when I started fasting and I started this, is that I realized that my body is really not hungry. It's just that I thought it's hungry, and so I'm feeding it food because it's a habit pattern. But then if I decide to fast, I can literally go the whole day without food and just with drinks, like just with juice or like, teas and coffees and water for the whole day, literally, and just maybe have a meal at night. And that's perfectly fine. And I'm not feeling starved. And that's probably why I feel so bloated. Yeah, and I'm not at my ideal weight, because I have this addiction, compulsive habit to eat. And you know how we eat our emotions for lunch, right? So when you're feeling stressed and feeling down and depressed and sad, so rather than taking time out to chill and hold ourselves and, give ourselves a massage, or listening to music or meditating, we're like reaching out for that chocolate bar or biscuits or whatever it is that you reach out to in terms of your comfort food. So fasting applies that sense of discipline in your life, where you're actually emptying out your body and enabling your body and your gut to empty out. Because we keep stuffing it all the time. I feel so stuffed. And so with our emotions that's stuffed and our body that's stuffed, how are we able to ascend? So through these dietary practices, it's not really, the purpose is not to like lose weight. The losing weight will come, but then you're not losing weight for the sense of beauty. You're losing weight because you want to clear out your energy. You want to clear out your chakras, your energetic body, providing space, spaciousness. So if we keep stuffing our bodies with food, how do we create spaciousness in our lives if our bodies are stuffed up and bloated? So these are just a couple of messages that I have that I would like to share with all of you, of the necessity to have these anchor in good physical practices in our day-to-day. And now because it's summertime in Montreal as well, I make it a practice to go out every day in the morning and walk on my pebble path barefoot, and to also do walking meditation on the grass and just feel that connection with earth and with the grass. And it feels great. You know, it really feels good to take time to be out in nature and to walk with Muffin, my dog. Yeah, and to just to be out, you know, and to walk barefoot and to swim, to be in water and be in the elemental energy, to let the body experience the elemental energy, and to give yourself a regular massage every day, like with a brush or just tapping motions, and your head. These are all daily routine exercises where you take small breaks during the day to care for your body, show your body how much you love her, right? How much she means for you and how you're grateful for her. It's truly important. When you love your body is going to love you back. Your body is also going to be able to hold the energy and a space for you to grow and expand and manifest your highest realities, your highest timelines. So as simple as it sounds, right? I think this is something where we need to be reminded from time to time. So I'm happy to be a friend for you, to remind you of this message, and then in return, you know, for you to be a friend to me. So yeah, let's just hold our crystal. Holding crystal, pink quartz, and remind ourselves of our divine energy, and that we all have within us the sacred spirit of the cosmos. It's running through us. And our physical body is a sacred divine vessel. And when our body is aches, pains, and there's diseases, is to honor that the body is actually carrying it, and now it's time to release an emotional blockage or an emotional trauma or something that we've been carrying forward in our lives. Like, that's why the body breaks down, to say like, I've had it, I can't take this anymore. So it's a reminder, a calling from the body to tell the emotional, mental, spiritual mind to slow down and take care of its needs that it has been neglected and abandoned for a period of time, and to do retrospection. And trust me, there is miraculous healing powers of our inner body. We're all healers. And so when we learn to listen to our body and attune to her divine needs and honor her, then we'll be able to get the messages on how to live our higher existence in harmony with grace and with ease, like water, the path of least resistance, no resistance. So with that, leave you a beautiful day and namaste. Greetings. Bye.